You might be asking, why sponsors, Henry? Well, I have been fairly vocal regarding my criticisms of crowdfunding, things like Patreon.
I was gonna say, you could also just install uBlock Origin and pay the creators directly on like Patreon or something.
No one does that though. And you know what? I'm getting tired of hearing about it because people don't do it. Right now, like we make more money from YouTube ads, which isn't much, by the way, than on Patreon. I really think it comes down to, I think it's very idealistic for people to say, oh yeah, well, if you install uBlock Origin and have your ad blocker running, you have to support your creators. Because realistically, people don't support their creators.
Not because I don't think it's a fantastic model that's about as pure and intimate as it gets, and one that we actually need, but because not enough people partake in it. We receive hundreds of thousands of views a month on YouTube with over 200,000 subscribers, and yet we currently have under 200 people on Patreon. And there isn't a lack of exposure. These patrons are showcased in our descriptions, at the end of nearly every video, in pinned comments, and in other areas like our website's homepage. I don't think there's any more convincing that can be done, nor should I need to. You all have every right to decide where you spend your money. And to our current patrons, I'm forever grateful for the amount of support you give us.
All right, and then just to kind of preview the shorts, so make sure to stay subscribed. We're gonna have a question from Potty who asks, after 130 episodes of surveillance report, what are the main takeaways for you and what lessons did you learn? Nate and I will probably do individual responses to that, so we'll have 2 answers for Potty. And then Caption 8169 asked about security for like banks and brokerage accounts, and we will probably get back to that in just 1 short. So we'll probably have 3 shorts this upcoming week before we come back next week for the next surveillance report 131.
You actively enable us to independently do what we do. Even with sponsors, it's your independent support that allows us to say no to sponsors literally every day.
Is this guy a retard?
Money is important, not just because we're real people who pay for rent and groceries and need to live somehow, but because Techlore is something I want to continue to expand. To do this, we need money for production equipment, devices to keep up with demanding workflows, devices to perform reviews. I want to again thank Synology for sending us this review unit and completely transforming both my and my team's workflows. They sent me a Fairphone 4 to play with, which is just incredible, so thank you to their team for doing that.
So, updated disclaimer. NitroKey did end up sending me a Nitro Storage 2 free of charge. This was a demo unit. I informed them as soon as I received it, and I returned it within 45 days after that. I did not get to keep it.
Hey everybody, just to set the stage, this video was recorded last year in Portugal and was recorded in person, so please keep that context in mind on the timing of certain things we talk about.
Yubico sent us a couple YubiKey review units that I used for over 8 months. Sorry, Yubico.
But Yubico reached out in like October 2021 or something like that, and they're like, hey, do you guys want to like review some stuff for us? And we're like, I'm like, yeah, of course. Like, I've wanted to for a while. So they sent us some review units, and it kind of like continually ended up on the back burner, like a lot of the things we do. And before I knew it, you know, we did record that video in summer of last year, but we only published it recently because we recorded like 10 videos all at once, and we're still rolling those out, which is why we have so many videos just scattered through our production right now. They're like, oh, this was recorded in 2022, not 2023.
sponsors can directly, right now, and will continue to push us to new limits, allowing us to spread privacy and security to audiences never seen before, all alongside our patrons. First, producing dedicated sponsor segments added time to our production workflow, especially since multiple production steps required coordinating with each individual sponsor. We had to delay numerous videos just in the name of making sure the sponsor segment was done properly and to everyone's standards, which includes our own standards, our audience's standards, you guys, and our sponsors' standards. Second, we universally fell behind on many things. Sponsors aside, we were already struggling with too much work and not enough time to do it. I felt it was more important to prioritize getting caught up, which required pausing our sponsorship program until we were back on our feet. Third, I personally felt our sponsor format of 1-minute video segments made our content feel less genuine. Our new program is very exciting as it's more diverse, versatile, and simpler for everyone involved. Instead, we're offering multiple sponsorship offerings for our videos, which are now featured in the outro through video and/or audio. We're also adding sponsors to our SPA quiz, Security, Privacy, and Anonymity quiz, which is on our website. You'll be featured before the quiz and after finishing. There's also an option to have product placements within our videos. Now, this one we need to be careful with because we feature services and things organically within our videos. Like, for example, we featured Crypty in our lockdown video. So I had to think of how to do this in a way where all of you would know something was product placement, and I just had to make the flat out rule that no tech companies were allowed for product placements only. There's also the very rare, we've only ever done one of these, dedicated sponsored video showcases. So we did this cake pay video not too long ago, and the reason why I took this one was because I felt that it was actually something that I could do in a way that was honest, that was new, that was fresh, and it was something that was actually valuable to our audience. I was showcasing a service that I think a lot of people didn't even know existed that allowed them to buy things out in public privately without any personal information, really.
You serious?
So these new sponsor options vary in medium, in audience, commitment, price point, and creativity. We have a whole sponsor guide for people interested in applying for those sponsorships. And as always, all sponsors have to respect our strict protocols, which you can also all view down below and help hold us to it. Alright, now that that's all out of the way, you might be asking, what does this mean for me? And, well, it doesn't seem like it really impacts you, but it does. If you're a viewer, rest assured our content and resources will remain independent. Most importantly, what this means for everyone is you're going to see more Techlore content, better quality Techlore content.
Oh, wait, you serious? Let me laugh even harder.
Better performing Techlore content. And finally, more projects and initiatives we've never been able to start or finish due to time and/or financial limitations. Now, I did want to say some thank yous because we wouldn't be here today if it weren't for some very special people. I wanted to thank all of our original sponsors, Cake Wallet, Local Monero, Privacy.com, and A-Bind Delete Me, who all believed in our mission and gave us a shot in showcasing their brands. I want to thank each and every one of you, our viewers, who welcomed our introduction to sponsors in 2021 with open but still wary arms. You all stayed skeptical, but still gave us a shot to prove to you that we could do sponsorships in an ethical way that wouldn't compromise on our quality and reputation. So if you didn't give us that shot, we would have never had the confidence to actually go forward with accepting sponsors.
I've really liked being on stock Android. I know we made that video that people were like, oh my god, so angry about because they couldn't watch a whole video and understand threat modeling well enough to understand like why I was using stock Android for a brief time.
Probably the biggest thank you I have to give is to our patrons and our direct financial supporters who allow us to have such strict protocols in place. It's you all who allow us to not be completely dependent on sponsors, so we can still have the freedom to tell sponsors no and turn them away every day if they're unable to respect our protocol. If you have any feedback or anything you want to share or any questions, leave it down below.